Today, I'm going to show you how to take your vocals from this to this. With my easy to follow 6-step framework. This is the exact method that I've been using for the last 5 years, and I want to pass it along to you guys. First, let's understand the job of the vocal for metal. The vocal's job is to connect the listener to the music. It is the highway that connects the audience to the band. So we need to make sure that the vocal is super clear and upfront at all times. But unfortunately, raw vocals are highly dynamic, lack clarity and definition. So we need to process them so that every word is heard, has clarity, and tons of energy to connect with the listener. And our first and best way to start that process is to use compression. Here's a raw vocal with no compression. Let's add some compression to reduce dynamic range and start controlling those peaks. Start with a fast attack and a fast release, and aim for about 3 to 6 dB of gain reduction. I am looking to just shave off the peaks of the vocal and squeeze a little bit of the sustain. As you can see, certain words trigger the compressor a lot harder than others. This is what we're looking for. We want to control those peaks to bring them down to a much more usable level. So we have dynamics under control, but it's still tough to hear the vocals over the wall of guitars. So what's the solution to this? Strategic EQ boosts. We start with the low cut up to 100 Hz, getting rid of all the low end below that frequency. Next up, I like to add some air around 6 to 8 kilohertz. And then after that, some presence around 3 to 5 kilohertz. This is going to add clarity and definition to every word. This is great, but now we have a problem. Our vocal is sounding too scooped from all our presence boosting. To counteract the scooping effect, I like to boost around 1 to 2 kilohertz, enhancing loudness without increasing any volume. This boost is key, as mid-range is where ultimately the vocal resides. So now that we've taken care of dynamics and EQ'd our vocals to cut through the mix, we are still left with the problem of needing to make them sound aggressive and have them take more space in the mix. And my favorite tool for that is saturation and distortion. Let's apply some distortion to this vocal track that we've been working on. Did you see how it gained more aggression and energy? This happens because distortion increases harmonics on a track, giving it aggression while also having a thickening effect on the low mids. You can also add distortion to the entire vocal bus to save time and to create even more cohesion on the entire vocal mix. So you might be thinking to yourself, this is sounding great, I may not need anything else. But what if I told you we can add even more energy to our vocal mix to make it sound like he's really attacking that microphone, making it easier to connect with the audience? Well, we can, and the best way to do that is to add another compressor to our mixing chain. This time to really slam the vocal and add energy and character instead of controlling dynamics. Here's my secondary compressor. Start with the medium attack to let the transients through and the fastest release, and start to slam the vocal hard here. Now let's increase the gain reduction. Don't look at the meter during this part. Instead, close your eyes and keep adding compression until the vocal starts to vibe just right. It should sound like the vocal is much more energetic and aggressive. Alright, now let's check out this compression in the context of a mix. With our vocals sounding fierce, all of this compression has created an issue. Some consonants are too prominent, jutting out of the mix. To ensure that they blend smoothly without undoing our hard work, it's time for some de-essing. I apply de-essing within the full mix context, allowing me to precisely balance it. This way we tame those sharp consonants without dampening the vocal's energy. This sounds about right to me. We're able to keep all of our high end without destroying our vocal mix, but we're still controlling those consonant peaks. Our vocal is almost up to the finish line, but there's still one missing piece: spatial depth. We need to create a sense of space on the vocal so that it's not so dry sounding. And for this, I love stereo ping pong delays, where one side of the delay is slower or faster than the other. I also like to set the level of this delay while the full mix is running, pushing it way too high in the mix and then dialing it back to where it just about disappears. Did you notice how the delay adds width and dimension without muddying the sound? In dense mixes, this is crucial. Excessive reverb can cloud the entire mix, but delay offers the spaciousness of reverb without the muddiness. Before we wrap up, let's supercharge our vocals with a couple of bonus tips. Tip number 1, limiting. Try adding a limiter at the end of the chain. This ensures our vocals stay within our desired level, providing more headroom on our master bus. Bonus tip number 2, consider using an auto fader. This keeps the vocals consistent above the mix, saving hours of manual automation. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. But all the vocal tips are useless if you haven't mixed your guitars the right way. So go and check out the video where I break down how to do just that. And click the link below where you can download my free mixing vocal checklist for you to reference when mixing. Catch you guys later.